On Story is brought to you in part by the Alice Clayburgh Reynolds Foundation, a Texas family providing innovative funding since 1979. Funding also provided by John Paul and Eloise DeJoria. On Story, presented by Austin Film Festival. A look inside the creative process from today's leading writers and directors.
It's a very solitary thing for me, and because in my heart of hearts I think of myself as more of a Shakespeare, Chekhov, Shaw, Kafka kind of guy. I don't think that collaboration is essential or even conducive to the way I think about writing, because either the person isn't as good as I am at what I do, in which case I resent his being there, or the person is better than I am at doing what I do and I hate him for it. Accidents. And the accidents are of time and place and personality, and they play a big part. That's why this stuff is good, even though I tend to think, oh God, conventions of people trying to do things are really a drag. On the other hand, the social circumstances of your efforts to do what you want to do in life are very helpful. And the more people you know who want to do what you want to do and are nice about it and willing, if you're all willing to help each other, it really works. I was an out-of-work actor for a long time. I mean, I worked sporadically, and I was a writer who had sold nothing. And then I was standing in a bar in New York, and a guy I vaguely knew said to me, you know what you ought to do? You ought to go down tomorrow to Greenwich Village, because there's a company down there that needs an actor, needs an improvisatory actor. They're changing their structure. So I went down and I got this job. And that job in the Village in the early 60s brought a lot of people to the theater. It was a very popular theater in its day. And among the people who came down were a friend of mine I'd been to college with, who was programming for a network, and his boss, who was doing the same thing. And out of that, they said, you know, that's pretty good. Steve Allen's forming a new company. He's going to do a new show. Why don't we talk about you working on it as a writer-actor, which I did. And so that accident happened. And the company of actors I was with in Greenwich Village, an outfit called The Premise, also had George Segal in it. And we became good friends, and still are. And a few years later, he was in California doing Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. I was working on Get Smart, and I hung out with him. And since he was shooting Virginia Woolf, I hung out with them, with Mike Nichols, and who turned to me one day and said, read this book called The Graduate and see what you think. So those are the accidents of time and place that inevitably happen better if you know a lot of people and if you get along with some of them. I had a partner on the Steve Allen show. That was about it. And then, sometimes on shows like That Was the Week That Was, there are a lot of writers working together or working at cross purposes to each other. Or God knows, on Saturday Night Live, where every writer wanted every other writer dead and buried. So I'm not a good talker about collaboration, because I think that a lot of writing is keeping secrets, even from yourself in a way, until such time as they absolutely need to be unveiled. And if the secret is really important to you, you can't reveal it to somebody else before it's time. But that's an extremely neurotic way of looking at it, and runs counter-purpose to a certain extent to what I said previously about the collaborative part of being in the business, which is very, very important.
It's about feelings that I think are the same today. I mean, when Nichols said to me, read this book, I said, I already have. He said, well, read it again and see what you think. And I said, yeah, because all three of us, Larry Terman, the producer who bought the book to start with, Nichols, you know who he is, and we all thought, oh yeah, I'm Benjamin. That's who I am. That's the guy it's me. I'm the guy who's uncomfortable in my parents' generation, and they make me nervous and angry and upset, and I know it's all going to turn out badly, so maybe it'll turn out good. You know, all that stuff comes out of the book and is perfectly formed. And it's also formed a lot by the sense of the dialogue. In the book, he arrives on time before the ceremony and manages to pull her away from the church. Nichols said, it's like we called in the cavalry. Is that fair? It's funny, it's bad. We should. What happens if he doesn't get there? What happens if the love of your life is at the altar and you don't get there in time? You just going to turn around and go home? Or are you going to, no. If you get there and you're not too late, you just drag her away, it's too easy. Let's let it happen and then see what happens. Oh, okay, good idea. Why not? I mean, all the bets are off at that point anyway.
Oh, Jesus, God, no.
Where's that guy? What's he doing? I'll take care of him. He's too late. Get it. Hey, stop.
I've always been bugged by the ends of movies where everything is more than okay. You know, the guy has just had his leg shot off, and he's got food poisoning, and his baby died, and the dog bit his mother, but the sun is up, and everything's going to be all right as long as we're together. And of course, it's egregious bullshit. So it was really nice to be able to say, but you know, life goes on and the struggle keeps on going and it's just as complex and weird as anything else. So I wrote one line of dialogue for the bus, and I can't remember what it is. It's something obvious like, well, what happens now? And he said, no, let's not have them say anything. They get on the back of the bus and they sit there, and I mean, it's a famous scene because there isn't any other like it in terms of the behavior of a couple in a movie.
Talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping.
So they sit there, and Mike just says, no, just roll it out. Let the roll go all the way. And they're sitting there, and you can see, of course, you can sort of see the wheels turning. What if I tried to say something? I have nothing to say. I can't say anything. It won't let me say anything. What do I do? I'll smile. No, that doesn't work. It's all this stuff that happens in life when you're uncomfortable and you've done something and you don't know whether you can take it back or whether you should or not. It's because a good director, in the same way that a writer does, a good director makes the environment so that the accidents will happen.
It's all about tone. But without being too facetious, you can imagine how King Lear would have tested. Make the guy younger, give a brother, not 3 sisters, 1 brother, 2 sisters, all that stuff. So it depends whom you're testing for, but in making films, you're constantly testing. You're testing against your cohorts, you're testing with the actors, you're testing certainly with the money people, studios or otherwise, and then you're testing with the audience. Now that's the deplorable part. That's the part you hate because they're the ones who'll kill you or love you or both. So when I don't want to be not only I don't want to be in the theater, I don't want to be in the state when they test. But the horrible part of it is that they do have an instinct for, they're right most of the time. And that's the nightmare. So I'll give you an anecdote about it, which was really frightening, which was when we finished Catch-22, we took it to Boston and we put it in a theater near Harvard which we knew would be filled. And Catch-22 has a very difficult tone because it's dark, it's ironic, it's sad, it's tragic, but it's supposed to be funny in places, but funny in a black comedy way, which is one thing in a book and another thing on the screen. And we had 2 runs of the film one night, and on the 6 o'clock show, I can't rely on anybody's memory, and I can't give you a rundown of the film, but that would be too boring. But there's a place in the film about 2/3 of the way through where Yossarian has to take the place of a dying soldier that he is not, because Doc Danica tells him if the family is coming to visit him, he already died. We need somebody to talk to them, so be him. And it's a really nasty, bitter scene about death and war, and it always made me cry.
He looks terrible. He's sick, Pa.
Harvey?
My name is Yossarian.
His name's Yossarian, Ma. Yossarian. Don't you recognize me? I'm your brother, John. Don't you know who I am?
Sure I do. You're my brother, John.
Pa, he knows me. Yossarian, look, here's Papa. Say hello to Papa.
Hello, Papa.
Hello, Harvey.
His name's Yossarian, Pa.
He looks so bad.
He's very sick, Pa. Doctor says he's gonna die.
Harvey?
Ma, his name's Yossarian. He doesn't remember things too good anymore.
It's okay. She can call me Harvey if she wants to.
When the first audience saw it, they were laughing through the film. They were having a good time. It was funny. They came to this scene, and everything changed. They simply didn't know how to take it. The tone was so peculiar and so off-putting that they suffered through the entire rest of the film. And so Nichols and I and Callie and a few others who were there for the screening afterwards said, well, Jesus, let's pray it's an anomaly. And then we had the second screening, and as you have already guessed, exactly the same thing happened in exactly the same place. And I know you guys have had this experience. A joke that you don't trust or that you do trust goes wrong always in the same place, or right always in the same place. And there's no accounting for it, except there is some bigger instinct than your own that ultimately grades your work. And that's both terrifying and very moving.
Is there something that you do regularly?
I have no process. I have no discipline. I have no strategy. I have no habits. I do it out of desperation and fear and embarrassment and humiliation. I have sometimes, but not too frequently, written out of a moment of inspiration. But usually it's from other people's work. And I have written out of simple human need. I need to eat, I need to belong, et cetera, et cetera. And I've taken jobs I'm thoroughly ashamed of, except for the check. So it's really, I'm totally Aristotelian in that, no, I'm sorry, Platonic in that area. I don't have any rules, and I don't have a regular way in which I do anything.
My name is Tate English, and I am the writer and director of a short film called The Ballad of Friday in June. I went to a friend of mine's house. This is an older woman who had a dog, and I went to her house when I was in kind of a bad mood, and I saw her playing with her dog, and I thought how nice it was that no matter what went on in her life and what good or bad things happened to her, she could always come home to this relationship she had with her dog. And I thought that was really beautiful, and I wanted to write a story about that. Clearly it's a comedy, it's got a puppet in it, it's a talking dog, that's silly. But then as the movie goes on, it's not really that funny of a story, and people end up liking the movie for what it is, which is a story about someone who's having problems, having creative problems, and about relationships, and as pretentious as that sounds, but the fact that I was able to take such a ridiculous idea for telling that story, and that people seem to like it, that is the thing that I'm most proud of. Coming up is my short film, The Ballad of Friday in June. I hope you like it.
Because I'll smile, and the world will smile with me. Yes, I'll smile, and the world will smile with me. Thank you. Friday, I'm home.
Hey June, hey June, hey June, guess what?
What?
I forget. Hey, I'm hungry.
Yeah, about that. I promise I looked. They didn't have the kind you like, that's all they had. Please just try it. For me?
Friday?
Oh, I didn't want to lose it.
Well, don't worry, I promise nothing will happen to your toy.
Awesome. June?
Yeah, sweetie?
I don't want to eat this.
Yeah, no, sweetie. I'm sorry. Good night, fur face.
Oh, you're back. Did you get it?
No, Friday, I didn't.
Why not?
They didn't have it either.
Why?
I don't know. No one has it. Maybe they stopped making it.
No, the dog in the commercial has it.
Then I don't know what to tell you, Friday.
Did you have money?
Yes, Friday, I had money.
Did you smile?
I don't know, Friday.
Were you nice?
Friday! Look, let's just keep looking, okay? I'm sorry, let's keep looking. Excuse me? Hi. My name is June Ojahoski. I play here on Tuesdays. Great. Well, and,
No, it's you. Didn't Mr. Lamar call you and tell you not to come in anymore?
No.
How embarrassing. For you.
But I could still play, right?
Absolutely not. Look at this crowd. There's like 8 people here. You spelled ukulele wrong.
Hey! 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 Hey, June! I was just at the window, and I saw a squirrel! And the squirrel saw me, and then I barked at the squirrel. He went and he ate some nuts, so I barked at him again! And then he just didn't move. So I came in here. It was awesome. Throw it, June. Yeah, I got you. Throw it further this time.
I don't want to play right now.
Okay, why not?
I'm tired.
Why?
I just am, Friday.
Do you think you'll get that food I like tomorrow?
Friday, I told you to go to bed.
But June,
I don't care, Friday! I don't care! They don't have your food anywhere, okay? I don't have time to run around the city looking for a stupid can of dog food! I had to look for a job today! Do you know what that's like? Of course you don't. You lay around all day and you make noise and you demand my attention and you have to have your special food and I can't do this anymore, okay? I just can't!
chartreuse with 6 arms and 8 eyeballs. I would choose you still.
I'm sorry I was mean to you.
That's okay. I peed on your bed.
Yep, you sure did. I'll go get the spray.